And the emulator crashed when I changed scenes in OBS, my favorite thing in the world. Let's get that back. Gotta love emulators. Indeed. Yeah, it has worked fine in testing. But there's Sonic Rush. Yeah, I'm doing alright, I'm alive. No, emulator? You gonna work without crashing? Hold on. Maybe it's because I'm opening it from like a zip instead of extracting it first. Right, it's working now, I think. Let's get going before it crashes again. Gonna turn. How is the audio balance, by the way? Because it's yeah, a bit hard to tell. Yeah, do let me know if the audio balance is wrong. Oh, wrong button. Using an Xbox controller on DS is awkward. Oh, already coughing. Got off to a great start. So, yeah, this is Sonic Rush. I can't really see. I've decided I can't be bothered to. I can't be bothered to have two monitors open. So, wrong button. You have Doom blaring in the background. Playing this with a DS, with an Xbox controller is going to be awkward. But yeah, this is Sonic Rush. Yeah, we're going to be switching DS layouts a fair bit. The game does throw you straight into it. This came out in 2005, one of the earliest big games for the DS, really. And they really go for the whole two-screen aspect. But that is a special stage, and the special stage uses the touchscreen. Oh, I'm holding my tablet upside down. So for touchscreen stuff in all the DS Sonic stuff, got my graphics tablet. So this may be a little awkward. Because I've not really properly played like this before, so hopefully I'm not going to suck too much. But the first few special stages are pretty easy, so... And I've played this game a lot over the years. Like, this is probably one of my most played Sonic games, up along with the Mega Drive games. So, yeah. Also, now that it's in motion, how does the layout look? Because, man, I made this for when I was going to stream Pokemon Diamond, but then chickened out of streaming Pokemon Diamond. But I thought I'd keep the Gen 4 theme. This is certainly... I'd say this feels a little more awkward than playing on an actual DS, just because there's not a one-to-one thing. I think if this was a tablet with like a screen, like sort of type thing, and I was using stylus on that, it would probably feel a little more natural. But yeah, it's the half-pipe special stage, so, you know. How do I have the scene switching? Leon board! on old phone. Let's set that back to vertical. Yeah, it's all done through the Leon board phone app, like Stream Deck phone app. Right. Nope. Want that top route. Also, don't expect me to be getting S ranks in this game because the point requirement, like the points requirements for S ranks in Sonic Rush are ridiculous. But yeah, today we are going to be we should be getting through all the way through Sonic's story, hopefully. It's not a super long game, like I was saying, one of the earlier titles on the DS. Oh, yeah, it's Act 1 clear. My phone's still not loading the chat. Voice clips seems excessive. They are a bit excessive. For me, it's kind of part of the charm. It's just how the game is, you know. Oh. No. I've a fair bit of nostalgia for this game. I have a lot of nostalgia for this game. This was the chat is some Picto chat text. I think when I was googling, like, what it's supposed to be is the Gen 4 like text, but I don't know if it is how close it is to the Gen 4 font. The text box itself is from Gen 4 though. Seem to his Picto chat. But yeah, this game is fast. This was the first game in the series to introduce the boost as well, so it's kind of a bit of a trendsetter in the Sonic series, I suppose, if you think about it. Oh. But yeah, to get boost, unlike in games like Sonic Unleashed and Generations, instead of getting it from rings, get it from performing all these tricks off springs and ramps and stuff. Which causes all the voice clips, which is a little excessive. But yeah, this is one of the earliest games I had on the DS. Certainly, probably one of the first sort of proper games, like that wasn't just like a kids license game or like touchscreen minigame compilation type thing. So yeah. I think it was also one of the earlier big name games out on the DS as well. Well, it's time for a boss. The boss fights, they all take place on the top screen. I'm not going to voice act, partly because of illness, partly because I'm not good at it. But yeah, they take place on the top screen and they're all in 3D, well 3D graphics anyway. So I love Sonic Rush. It is probably one of it's definitely up there in my rankings just for pure nostalgia alone. I do really like the game, but the bosses absolutely suck. I hate the bosses. They take way too long, and there's not the most interesting fights. Also, you know there's a problem with the bosses when the first boss has 3 attacks. It has the 2 head slams you just seen, and the third one where it sends its head thing rolling down the path. 2 out of 3 of those attacks are instant death moves in the first boss. So 2/3 of the first boss's attacks are instant kill moves. In a boss fight that takes ages. Yeah, the boss fights are not a high point of this game. Not every boss is rubbish. I do like a couple of the bosses in this game, but a lot of them are either boring or very annoying. But I think they wanted to show off, 3D graphics on the DS, much like with Mario 64 DS, except obviously it's still 2D gameplay. No. So that entire 1 minute 15 second boss fight, we had to do that all over again because of The one-hit kill attack, or the instant kill attack. And no, you can't speed up the boss fight. At least the music is good. The music in Sonic Rush is actually quite unique for the series as well, composed by the person who composed the Jet Set Radio soundtrack. And you can tell it's one of his soundtracks just with the amount of sampling, like the amount of voice samples and just overall sampling used in the music. It is absolutely chock full of samples. Oh, that was close. Also, Sonic Rush is one of the first Sonic games to be using the 4Kids voice cast, like Jason Griffith, Mike Pollock, stuff like that. So you can beat the bosses in 2 seconds. This must feel like hours. Sam, I think you'll find we call that console the Mega Drive in this country. And yeah, because while you can beat the bosses in the classic games really quickly if you know what you're doing, that's kind of the point. If you know what you're doing, you can use your skill and end it in seconds. Whereas here, no matter how good you are, you gotta wait for it to do its telegraphed attack that you can then counterattack on. It's the worst parts of modern boss design. Thankfully, out of the 3 games I'm going to be playing for for these Sonic DS games, Rush gets the worst bosses out of the way. Rush Adventure and Colors have far better bosses, in my opinion. They're far more interesting, or in Colors' case, have strategies to take them down really quickly if you're skillful with the wisps, which I think is how it should be. But this is where we get introduced to Blaze. This first game she appeared in. It's from another dimension. Another dimension, Sonic 06. Another dimension. But yeah, we'll see more of her later. Let's go reply to a message. So, I beat that boss as fast as I could with the attacks he gave me. I got all the rings on the field. Still didn't get an S rank. Gotta love boss design in this game. Yeah. That victory dance. Sonic has some moves in this game. What kind of power he was talking about? I guess we will find out as we go through the game. So yeah, the story in this game is not the most like deep story. It's a very basic story, really, but that's all you need for a Sonic game. Zone 2, Water Palace. I should probably set it back to vertical. Especially because all the story stuff was on the bottom screen there once we got back to the map. So with the special stages, it is 1 emerald per zone. You just get on these things, and then you make sure you have enough boost to sort of spin around on them. Just hold the Y button, and you get sent to the special stages. Nice and simple way, while incentivizing you to engage with the game's main mechanic, really. So I quite like the special stage entry method here. And there's plenty of those things sort of sprinkled throughout all the levels as well, so you have plenty of chances. Though of course, this being a DS game, a DS game with like proper saving and bottom map and all that, obviously you can go back into any levels that you've missed emeralds from and just try again. Nice and easy. Oh, those bits are definitely going to be harder with the with this than with an actual DS. So, Oh, okay. Tapping on those is also going to be harder. Oh no. I didn't realize how much harder tapping on those enemies is going to be. I was debating trying to get software set up to like have like a hand graphic showing like where my sort of stylus is, so to emulate the feeling of having like your hand covering the screen while you play on an actual DS. But I thought, nah, that'd be too distracting. Oh, I thought that'd be too distracting, so didn't go through with it. Yeah, homing and attacking the enemies does have a benefit, because they get you rings. I'm not going to bother getting all the rings and springs on the side, because I have plenty of rings. That will just prolong the special stage. Right, that is Emerald number 2. Monsters don't look smudgy, but they feel smudgy to me. Set that back to vertical. Also, you can't skip this little screen. You can't like make that go by any quicker, but I reckon that was sort of to give you enough time to I reckon that was done to give you enough time to switch back to using the buttons again. Not with this being an early DS game. Oh. I accidentally gone the lower route. Of course we are underwater, so you know what that means. Gotta make sure to breathe. Oh. Sometimes the amount of tricks I end up doing does cause me to like jump off stuff that I'm not supposed to jump off. Because to do the standard like tricks, you press the B button, which is also jump. Also, I assume I think the sort of gap between the screens looks a bit more natural on stream than on my view. I'm playing with my emulator window with a very small gap between the screens because that's how I already had it set up. And I don't want to mess with it because I'd have to reposition everything within OBS. So I don't want to mess with it. But yeah, when setting stuff up and like, oh, whoops, letting stuff like run in the demo to see how it looked like really good. So yeah, I guess I can try and explain gameplay stuff a bit more. So yeah, with the tricks you've got like the standard B button tricks. Then you also, once you've done enough tricks, you can then press the A button to sort of finish the sort of trick chain, as it were, which gets you more boost. Then you got the R button tricks as well. You got the forward one and the upwards one, which obviously get you height and then get you sort of forward velocity. thing is, what I didn't know until a few years ago is that after these sort of R tricks, you can then keep pressing sort of B to keep doing tricks after those to get even more points. Which is quite useful for getting high scores. And then you can also press the R button on rails to do tricks on rails. Oh. Yeah, defeating enemies also gives you boost as well, but the main way you're getting boost is from these tricks. And I reckon playing so much Sonic Rush is part of what's worn out some of the buttons on my DS Lite. Because you mash the B and the R button a lot in this game. Especially when you're on the rails, you're just spamming that R button. Oh no! Then if you go too fast, that happens. So yeah, Sonic Rush is mostly about going really fast. But then, occasionally, the game will ask you to slow down and do like a really precise platforming section with bottomless pits underneath, which do kind of break the flow. And they were also quite difficult for me as a kid as well. Later levels especially get a bit more egregious with it. Wow, I'm coming very close to coughing a lot. Hopefully by Sunday, this should mostly be cleared up. Hopefully. And go back to the top screen. You won't escape this time, Eggman. But, oh look, it's Eggman with different colours. Taunts me by not using my full title. Yeah, this is also first appearance of Eggman Nega. In this game, from another dimension, and then in Sonic Rivals, which came out like a year or two after, he's from the future. Sega could not make their mind up about sort of Blaze and Eggman Nega in the 2000s. The thing is, later on, like, people at Sonic Team have said that... Oh, hold on. Oh. Nope. Oh dear, I've messed up my muting. Oh dear. Anyways, people at Sonic Team have said that Blaze's canonical backstory is Sonic Rush, but Eggman Nega's canonical backstory is Sonic Rivals. So, you know, nice consistency work there, guys. But yeah, this boss. Very similar idea to, well, most of the other bosses. Wait for it to do its attack and then jump on it. So this attack that he does there always used to mess me up as a kid, like I wouldn't know how to avoid it at all. It took me a long time to work out how to avoid that attack. I'm still not 100%, sometimes his placement will just be a bit awkward. But yeah. Also, you won't ever run out of breath here as well. For some reason, between the level and the boss, Sonic has learned how to breathe infinitely. You always have to do a double take when you hear his name. Well, blame Sega for that. I'm trying to, you know, make sure I do pronounce it, like, you know, with the E sort of audible, but, you know. So we're almost 1.5 minutes into this boss, and we're only halfway through. Oh! Can't believe they turned Among Us into a robot dinosaur. Right, there we go. Yeah, all of the bosses have that, like, have a massive, like, glowy spot where you hit them. Dinosaurus. Dinosaur sus, even. So yeah, one thing you can actually do in all of the DS Sonic games, judge of spin dash, jump, and then just, like, run like that. You run really fast. Oh, come on. No! I feel like our Tails is helping. Yeah, spoiler alert, Cream does this in Laser Story. It says very little purpose. And by very little purpose, I mean no purpose. I would say the purpose is to show that the DS can handle voice samples better than the GBA, but like Sonic Advance 3 already had voice clips in the boss fights, so I don't know. Change that back to a vertical layout before I forget. That's B rank. I thought it was going to be a C rank for some reason. Actually, if we switch to bottom screen, so we can see the story, the amazing story. He looks just like Eggman. Eggman's speech about ultimate power. It's really bugging me. What's really bugging me is the fact I keep almost coughing. And I do cough, and I am coughing as well. I'm trying to mute my mic when I do that. Have you discovered anything interesting? Something's wrong with the space-time continuum. I feel like there's a bit of there are some slightly long words in this children's game. The way the dialogue is written in this game, it does make me think that perhaps there's a little bit of a literal translation sort of thing going on. Like, maybe not quite exactly literal, but a little bit literal. Anyways. On to Mirage Road. Overall, a decent level, but the way both acts end is not the most fun thing in the world, but we'll get to that when we get to it. Whoops. So this game has a weird mechanic where sometimes it'll just drop you in a room and ask you to beat all the enemies, like Sonic Heroes style. I don't know why they decided this was a good idea for a Sonic game. Oh. Miguel tells us just as a device in his workshop that can check the space-time continuum. To be fair, that's the kind of thing that I wouldn't put it past Tails to have. Hopefully I have enough boost. Yeah. Where to put the pen? Here. Oh, okay, the mic. I didn't. Okay, there we go. Right. Special stage 3. So since I'm using emulation, I could theoretically, if I wanted to, increase like the resolution, like the rendering resolution of the 3D stuff, but I didn't particularly want to. Partly for the sort of authentic feel, and partly because like all the DS Sonic games are sort of this mix of 2D and 3D assets, which I feel wouldn't work very well if we sort of upscale the 3D graphics. This is actually, I would say this is harder than playing on an actual DS. Thankfully, we do only need to do the special stages once. We only need to do them as Sonic. We don't have to do them as Blaze. Okay. I know he's super smart, but he's more like a I'll build a transforming plane with guns kind of genius. Yeah. Also, I guess to explain game mechanics, those bits where you spring up into the air, they're kind of like you just have to touch the sort of touch them in order. When I was younger, I didn't realize that you could just sort of slide over them. I thought you had to individually tap them, which makes it impossible to do a lot of the later ones because they want you to do it really quickly. I then learned that you can just slide between them. We may have to take a break partway through the game so I can grab a drink. Oh, careful, careful. Almost succumb to another one of Sonic Rush's problems, where it likes to sometimes crush you randomly out of nowhere. Not quite as badly as Sonic Advance 3 does, but it is still sometimes an issue. I love being locked in a room and asked to defeat enemies in a Sonic game. It's my favourite thing in the world. Also, this game has a homing attack if you press the R button mid-jump, but it's not the most reliable thing. Like, it works, but it's just a bit unreliable. Isn't really sort of a focus in the level design either, it's more just a thing you can do. I only really find it useful on these guys, to be honest. Oh, missed the shield. But yeah, both of these acts end basically on elevator sections. Why they thought this is a good fit for a Sonic level, not quite sure. Ah! There goes my rings. Well, that was Act 1 of Mirage Road. Hey! Even if I kept my rings, I probably still wouldn't have been an S. stuff like that can happen in this game. I don't know if like development on this game was rushed to some extent, pardon the pun, but sometimes questionable level design does happen. With like big bottomless pits and stuff. Like it is the game where it is one of the games where like so a lot of people's problems with dimps really do, or with the sort of developers dimps does sort of make themselves known, but at the same time, I don't know. I can never like even when it annoys me, I can never really stay mad at this game. I think partly just because it is such a heavily nostalgic game for me. It's like because it was this, the Mega Drive games and Adventure that really were my sort of first few Sonic games that I ever played. So I kind of played all three major forms of Sonic games, sort of, as a child. Like the classic stuff, Adventure and Boost. Because, I mean, while the specifics of how the boost works isn't quite like, sort of stuff like Unleashed in Generations, this is still where the boost formula got its origins. Although you could say that sort of they got some sort of a start with Advance 2, just with the overall level design philosophy and sort of the boost mode that Sonic can enter in that game, but this is the first game with a proper boost function. Also, a lot of the sound effects in this game feel really bit crushed and like low quality, even though it's like a DS game, which they probably could have done a bit more. Like higher fidelity sound effects. Also, this is the game flirting with the idea of 3D, because you can move up and down as well. Doesn't mean you can't spin dash though, which is a little awkward. Because despite this being a boost game, the spin dash is sometimes still useful. Not always, but sometimes. But yeah, you really gotta pay attention to the shadows here. I do love standing on a raft waiting for boulders to fall in my Sonic game. Ow! Thankfully this is about as slow as the game gets apart from the boss fights. The wait fast. Indeed. Down for the top screen, we got the boss fight. So this one is based on a dung beetle, of all things. Because why not? Come on. Just shoot your thing at me. Okay. But yeah, you can't be too quick with hitting it back at him, or else he'll just catch it before he turns around. Oh, excuse me. But also, obviously, you can't hit it while it's spiky, because then it hurts you. This boss isn't too bad. Like, it's not the most interesting thing in the world, but it's also not quite as boring as some of the others. Whoa. Oh, I hate it when it does that. Oi. Why is that not Mecha Pigeon? Why is that saying just stream elements? Rude. Oh no. Why? Why is it not? Ugh. Hold on. The stream elements like plugin for OBS is supposed to like make it like thingy. It's supposed to make it use the custom name. I can't bother to figure it out. We'll pretend it says what it's supposed to. We'll pretend it's the account it's supposed to be. I'm not wasting time trying to figure it out. But yeah, later on the boss it starts jumping over the thing. Mecha Pigeon. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's going on. It normally works. It's because I've like switched all my Streamlabs stuff over to Stream Elements, just because of all like the news that came out about Streamlabs and all that, and just wanting to move stuff over anyway. The sort of news being the sort of, I guess, the final straw in making my decision. But yeah, the Stream Elements plugin is supposed to make the Stream Elements bot use your custom name, like use your like custom account for it. I have to look into why it's not working later. Oh. Oh! So you might have noticed as well, every time I've gotten hit, my rings have flown out further. This, to my knowledge, is the first game to introduce this mechanic, and yeah, it's a mechanic in Dimps games that I don't particularly like. It happens in the Sonic 4 games as well. I don't particularly like it. Because, like, I think it's meant to make it so you can't, to try and avoid, like, I think it's meant to try and prevent just absolutely cheesing boss fights, but what it ends up doing is just making you annoyed.
Should we try this again?
Nope. Mic back on, please. Thank you. So I think this is one of the few games where Cream's mother Vanilla appears in. Like, she appears in this Advance 2. I think she appears in Advance 3, maybe Battle. But I can't think of any games past Sonic Rush where she appears in any real capacity. Maybe Chronicles, but I don't really remember much of Chronicles. Ugh. Need more drink. I'm googling my problem with the bot, even though I said I wouldn't sort it out. I said I'd wait till after stream. Alright, let's get on with the game with Night Carnival Zone. Real creative, having a level called Night Carnival in the same franchise that has a level called Carnival Night. Not quite sure what's happened to the opacity / frame rate on the boost there. That's weird. Oh, I haven't failed one of those in ages. There's one near to you. No, he's still here. Fair enough. Yeah, not quite sure what's going on with the game's frame rate. Or with the emulator's frame rate, even. Oh. Hold on. It's bugging me. Hold on. It's bugging me. Hold on. Oh no! Let's try limit frame rate rather than audio sync, see if that helps. No, it doesn't. Oh. Hold on, I'm bothered by this. So I need to find one of the special stage things at some point. I'll have to find one in Act 2, I suppose. So whenever I came across one in Act 1, or in this act, I didn't have enough boost. No. I don't know, I'm bothered by this now. It's probably fine. Oh, we've got this rank. Also, this music, not a track I initially liked, but it grew on me a lot after listening to the sort of soundtrack version of it, like the sort of CD quality version. But yeah, I definitely enjoy the music in this level a lot more now than I used to when I was younger. Nope, gotta go down here. No, I missed the thing. Haha, I can still do it. There we go. Hold on. Hold on. Stream elements. Activity feed. Click the menu in the top left. Stream settings. Custom bot name. Ah, here we go. Mecha Pigeon, there we go. Save. Hey, Mecha Pigeon's back. Welcome back. Oop. I guess I guess when I updated the plugin for Stream Elements, because the plugin for Stream Elements is how you have to is one of two options you have for getting the Stream Elements bot to use a custom name. Otherwise, I don't really have any use for the Stream Elements OBS plugin, but yeah, obviously I want my bot to not just be Stream Elements, because you know I made a whole character for my bot and everything. Well, also if my movement on this looks erratic, then you know that's just the fact it's very awkward to do some of this when your sort of stylus is not one-to-one with the you know, when it's not sort of on the screen itself. Ah, back on the emulator, please. No, went off the window. Oh, you stupid. Ah. Concentration time. Oh, I just missed it. Missed it by 4 rings. Luckily, we can just retry because we have enough boost to do it. To retry. Bad. Yeah, I'd forgotten it said bad if you fail. It's been a long while since I failed one of these. Right, concentration time. No. This is actually... This is a lot harder than I thought it would be. Like, I thought it might be a little hard. Oh. But this is actually harder than I thought it would be. Well, I guess we're gonna have some fun when it comes to Rush Adventure, because that's got much heavier use of the touchscreen than Sonic Rush. No! No! That one's an awkward one anyway. Right. Ah! No. Okay, we got it this time. I don't think using the mouse is going to be much easier. Right. Also, with these sections where you got the ball chasing you, keep that boost button held firmly down. Because if the ball so much as grazes you, you are dead. Oh. I always miss that, I swear. If you go too far to the right here, you guessed right, you fall into a pit and die. But with this one, you want to go all the way to the right to reduce the risk of dying. I'm not quite sure why the boost graphics weird. No! Pressed the wrong button. You know what? It perhaps... Ugh, hopefully that wasn't too loud. I meant to hit the video settings button. Perhaps if I use the software renderer, it might help. There we go. That looks slightly weird now. Hold on. This is bothering me. Probably shouldn't be, but... Okay, no, it's fine. I think it's the way the game does, like, has sort of anti-aliased its sort of some of its sprite assets. Okay, so we use this. No. Okay. Rather than wasting my boost before the bit where I need it. So my laptop should probably be powerful enough to run this with the software renderer. Frankly, be a bit worried if this laptop couldn't run a DS emulator with software renderer. BRB. That is very okay. You're probably just going to miss me constantly muting the mic to cough.
Yes.
Oh,
Here we go.
I think after this boss, I'm going to go get some more water because I've already finished what I've got up here. Might get a throat sweet as well. So this boss is potentially a quick one, because whenever you hit the main bit of the boss, it also sends down this little car beetle thing, which lets you, which if you jump on that, it bounces you upwards, and lets you get a second hit on the boss really quickly. So it's possible to get hits on this boss pretty quickly, which is very cool. Like I'm already nearly done. What a helpful car. It is helpful. Like, on a good run, with good positioning and a little bit of good RNG, you can get the boss done really quickly. Like that, under a minute. Also, the voice clip clearly says you'll regret this, and yet here the dialogue says I won't forget this.
Should we try this again?
Still only an A rank, but that's because I lost most of my rings at the end, so whatever. Let's do this story, then I'm just gonna go get some more water. What's this? The road's closed. Wonder who that could be. Who needs help? Knuckles? Not feeling too good. Feline with an attitude. Now, this isn't Idris Elba Knuckles. Well, he's not voiced in this game, but if he was voiced, it would be Dan Green. Because this is 4Kids voice acting era. So, yeah, Knuckles will get a bit more screen time in Blazer's story. I think he might get a bit more screen time later on in Sonic's, but he will get a bit more screen time in Blazer's story. Anyways, I'm just gonna nip downstairs and grab some more water. Back in a moment. Thinking about it, I probably could have, if I wanted to, I could have run an ad then or something. That would have been something. Yeah, it was this part. This part of my headset has a clip. I had it clipped to me for easy access to the mute button. But then I decided to use the mute button on my my Stream Deck. Anyway. Oh, I should get on with things. Get the stream done before I like cough myself into oblivion. This is Zone 5, Huge Crisis.
Let's do it.
So this level set on like a warship or something. Oh. Pretty unique in terms of aesthetic for a Sonic level. You don't see many sort of Sonic games set on like ships like this. Right, let's get a special stage attempt in now. There's a speck on my glasses. This cannot be allowed. I get really distracted if I get like specks and stuff on my glasses. Right. Specs on my specs. Sure.
Let's do it.
I guess thinking about it, I guess one of the things that isn't helping with doing special stages like this is my hands are probably covering a bigger area.
Let's do it.
Like they're having to cover a bigger area than I would have to on a DS screen, just because of the size I have my emulator window. Because I have it too small, because I can't see the thing. But we shall muddle through. Missed that. Nope. No. Oh, no. Oh. No. I blame myself, really. Do I have enough boost to get another attempt straight up? Yes, I do. Alright, let's try again. Extra concentration mode on this time. OBS, don't you dare disconnect while I'm busy.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's around the edges where it's not liking it very much. No. Concentration time. Even more. Uh, no. Right. Oh. No. Okay, I've got enough though. So we're good. We're good. So I've got a cough sweet in my mouth, so hopefully that's going to help a little bit with the coughing. Or is that a cough sweet? I think it's more of a throat sweet than a cough sweet, but same difference. Hopefully by Sunday, I'll be completely cleared up of this cough. This happens every time I get a cold. Like, I just get left with a lingering cough that lasts ages. But yeah, I do feel like I'm coughing less and less each day though, so hopefully hopefully it will be gone soon. So I'd say this is probably the level with the most sort of unfair crushing deaths in it. So I love boosting onto those backwards, because the boost graphic stays facing left. That was a close one there. Does this have a two-player race mode? Yes, it does have a two-player race mode. I know you could definitely play multi-cart mode. I don't think it might have also supported download play. Although you can tell it's an early DS game. You could download a demo to another person's DS with download play, like a one-level demo. But yeah, I used to play the two-player a bit as a kid. I had some people to play it with. This and Rush Adventure. Colors DS also has a two-player mode, but I think it doesn't use the main levels. Whereas this and Rush Adventure, I think, do use the main levels. It's been a long time since I've played the multiplayer in these games, though. Like, years and years. Also, I feel like the emulator is alleviating some slowdown that's in the original games. I feel like there are some bits of slowdown in this level, but it doesn't seem to be happening on the emulator.
Let's do it.
No. But yeah, this is another level where they have you, where they lock you in rooms and make you fight enemies. And that's what we mean about unfair crushing deaths in this game. Like, you can't see that coming unless you already know it's gonna happen. And even if you already know it's gonna happen, you can still get caught out by it. No. Ah! Happened again.
Do it.
Oh, we're all the way back here as well. Ugh. Where was I meant to stand, game? Thankfully, the levels, they're not super long yet. Well, not super long in general, so we should be okay. Well, I'd rather get hit though than get crossed here again. I think we might be past some of the more annoying crushing sections at least. Also, something subtle you might or might not have noticed. Each level has its own individual invincibility beat, which is, I just think that's interesting that they sort of bothered to sort of do that. Oh. Oh. Probably came a bit too close to dying there. Oh. Oh, Sonic. Don't run over the rocket thing. Tip for this enemy room, stand on the upper platforms because the lower ones fall when you stand on them. So don't boost out of that section. That is a huge crisis. Done.
Yes.
That was an S rank run somehow? Not quite sure how that was an S rank run, but whatever. And so, may I now introduce you to the worst boss in the game. It's like the it's like the Zone 1 boss, but worse. So it still has the slam attacks. But yeah. In a way, I think this might technically be easier than the first boss, just due to the fact that it only has one instant kill attack, rather than two instant kill attacks. But it's much more annoying, and you're more likely to get hit by the slams as well, because they home in to you for longer. But this move, where he goes into the background and shoots missiles at you, this move takes ages. It's a waste of time, because it's not that hard to dodge the missiles. Sometimes they shoot randomly, sometimes they follow you. It's just a big time sink. Oop. Yeah, sometimes it will do multiple slams. But as the boss fight goes on, he doesn't. When he slams, he doesn't give you much time to hit him. Like you have to be really like on the mark, like really sort of really sort of on it to hit him. And if you miss, and like you do it too slowly, instead of trying to slam again, he'll just go into the background and shoot missiles again, and just waste all your time. Easily my least favorite boss. Ah, see? Oh, okay, yeah. Oh. Yeah, that time he didn't go into the background immediately, but I feel like on the last couple of hits he tends to. Of course, only the explosion graphics on the floor actually hurt you. From the missiles themselves don't seem to hurt you. Because you don't really collide with them. Nope. I've only missed one attack opportunity so far. But here he goes, back into the background again. Gonna have to look for the rest of the stream. That is alright. I mean, whatever you miss here, you'll basically see that it'll basically happen again on Sunday when we do Blaze's story. Because Blaze does go through the same levels, so, you know. So that was actually a fairly optimal run of that boss. I only missed one opportunity, and he actually followed it up with a slam instead of going to the background. Whether I'll have such luck when I play as Blaze, who knows, but that's a problem for Sunday.
Should we try this again?
So apart from missing one opportunity, I beat that almost as quick as I could. Still only got a B rank. But let's actually go talk to Blaze. So, just got to the bit in Eternal where they play the only thing they fear is you plays. What level are you up to in Eternal now? But yeah, Blaze and Sonic are, you know, having a conversation. But Blaze, oh, it's none of your business, it's my responsibility. Trying to find Dr. Hayden? Ah, right. Trying to remember how far into the game that is. But yeah, Blaze is all being like, oh, I have to do this alone. But, you know, we'll see more into her story, into her sort of character motivation on that. Level 6, I think. I can't wait for your reaction to the Mars Core level. I think that's the one. Yeah, like the way he goes into Mars. That's a really good level. But yeah, let's follow her, Sonic. Zone 6 altitude limit. We're getting closer to the end. So this is altitude limit. This is probably one of the levels I think that's one of the most sort of Sonic Rush feeling levels in the game. Because it's like really like huge and like vertical. Lots of opportunities to show off like the trick system and stuff like that. But first special stage. It's the stage that I would have picked for like Sonic Generations 3DS. Like, it's the level I would pick if I was representing Sonic Rush with a level. Altitude limit, but we'll get more into that once we've done the special stage. Because it is once again concentration time. The final special stage may well take a few tries once we get to the final level. So that's going to be interesting. Rah. Oh. No. This may well take multiple tries. I'm surprised I got through all of those without getting hurt. Ouch. Didn't get through that without getting hurt though. I barely scraped through that section. Right. It is ultra concentrate time. No. No. Ah! I accidentally grabbed the window. No. Oh. Well. I'll sort that out afterwards. No! Oh, this is actually really hard. No. Right. Right. I've got enough boost power to retry here. This is actually... This is going to present a problem when we get to the final special stage if I'm struggling here. Right. We're going to be going into very little talking mode as well. No. Oh. No. No. How did I manage to get them before? Alright, we're at least a bit better off this time. No! Ah. Right, I'm just gonna play it safe. Oh no. Okay. Oh. Right, we did this one. Oh, one more special stage to go. This is the most I've struggled on these special stages in years. When I did my test playthrough, obviously I was doing it on an actual DS. It was a lot easier. You know, I didn't fail a single one, I don't think. Right. So yeah, we can get back to this level. Altitude limit. Now, this is, I suppose, technically a level where Sonic Rush's overabundance of bottomless pits rears its head. But at the same time, it's a level set high up in the sky, so what do you expect? Being a lot of chances to really show off the verticality of things. On Sonic Rush levels in general are a lot more vertical than a lot of Sonic levels because of the whole dual screen thing. I think it's why there's such an emphasis on like the mid-air tricks and stuff as well. Just like gaining height and stuff. Just to really sort of push the whole dual screen aspect. Yeah, there definitely would be slowdown in that part of the level on the original hardware. I guess thank you, emulator, for not slowing down. slightly blind free falling down there, but I played the game so much I know where to land. Like, I know where is safe. Right. Now the hang glider section. 3D. You're meant to like move around and like collect rings and avoid the enemies, but you can just cheese it by sitting on the bottom right. Nothing will ever hit you. And I'm going to take the opportunity to just sit back and, you know, take it easy. The music. This is one of my favourite Sonic soundtracks, I think. It's just so unique and sort of stylized. The whole game has a really strong sense of style. Oh, it's time for one of those platforming sections that we all love to hate. Because this game is all about the running fast until it's not. And that's right at the end of the level as well. So if you mess up, I think you... I'm trying to think if the checkpoint might be before the hang glide section, so you might have to redo the hang gliding section. I can't remember though. Gotta go slow. Not quite in S rank. But despite it being indicative of some of the problems of Sonic Rush's design, I do still kind of love this level. Again, it is sort of one of the most Sonic Rush feeling levels of the entire game. Although this act, when I was younger, I didn't realise that you could boost through those spikes. So whenever I was younger, I had to like really slowly like sort of tiptoe my way through this section. Whereas, you know, nowadays I know you can just boost through it. You know, when I was younger, I used to like have to tiptoe through that section. Come on. There we go. Can't remember if coming up here actually has any benefits. No, just special stage entrance, right. Another one of these sections. Thankfully not as long as the one from the end of Act 1. Oh. But because the way the platforms go down, if you are too slow at that platforming, you do miss the chance to actually get up to where you need to be. So yeah, you have to be fast at the platforming. Ah, that was close. Be careful about how far you go on that thing. Also be careful about using the R button to dash, because it might try to home you in on something you don't want to home in on. And another hang gliding section. I think you can also cheese this one by sitting at the bottom right corner. I believe you can. Though of course Sonic and the hang glider are the only actual 3D objects. Everything else is just sprites. I think even the clouds might be sprites. Ah! Whoops. Didn't quite mean to do that. Right. Whenever you're doing one of these parachuting bits, it's always like dangerous, sort of when you go through the screens. It's also really playing this game has been like disorientating for me, just because of the sort of small gap I'm playing with in the emulator window. Like I have put a gap between the screens, but it's not a very big one. Like it's a lot smaller than even on like a 3DS XL. Because if you're playing a 3DS XL and you're playing with the full size of the screen, the gap between those screens is smaller than what you would have on an original DS. But it's not quite as disorienting as the tiny gap I've got here. Also, yeah, the Act Clear jingle is taken from Altitude Limits music. I think, yeah, I've only got a screen gap of 8 pixels. Oh, I should probably have not switched to the touchscreen yet, but oh well, I don't care. Altitude Limit. Zone 6 versus boss. So this boss caused me no end of trouble when I was younger. It's when the bosses really start getting difficult, I would say. Like, I remember being stuck on this boss for a very long time, because its moves can be quite awkward to avoid. Like with that move, you have to jump to avoid it, otherwise it like stuns you. But I feel like this boss does do attackable sort of counterable attacks more often than other bosses, like more quick sort of succession. Plus, I think because it doesn't wait as long between attacks, it feels a bit more fun than some of the other bosses. This is where we get introduced to button mashing. Not nearly the most egregious instance of button mashing in this game, although anyone that's played this game probably knows what I'm referring to by the really egregious button mashing. Oh, I thought I wouldn't hit him there. Also with the machine gun, I don't know if this is how you're meant to avoid it, by constantly going underneath him and using the fact that he sort of wobbles. But I find that's the best way of avoiding the machine gun fire. Because when he turns around, there's enough space to walk under it, because he's not angled. I don't know if that's intentional. But I find it's the best way of actually avoiding it. Uh-oh. I think I can just about do the sort of slide my fingers between the buttons method of button mashing that I used to use on the DS. Oh, I was too slow. No. No. There we go. Not the most optimal run. Messed it up a bit at the end, but I feel like even if it does go on as long as some of the other bosses, it feels a bit more interesting to fight. So, you know, higher up on the boss tier list for me for this game, but not, again, still a bit,
Should we try this this again?
Yeah, no way I'm getting an S rank with only holding onto one ring. I think if I'd held onto more rings, I would have might have gotten an S rank. Oh, and it's time for Amy to show up. Yeah, Knuckles and Amy just kind of exist in this game. It's really the Sonic and Blaze show with Tails and Cream like tagging along for most of the adventure too. My laptop. I've been like off center all stream. I've done nothing to rectify it. A girl? Please tell me what Sonic needs from this cat girl. Tails, you better help me out here. Okay, so now I understand. You should have told us earlier. You're so mean, Sonic. Also, you might notice the wavy effect on the world map. It gets stronger as you go through the game. But this is Zone 7 Deadline, the finals level in the game, and home to the hardest special stage, which I'm really not looking forward to doing. But a really cool piece of music. I love the music for this level. Lots of one-off gimmicks as well, like the rockets and stuff, and lots of anti-gravity fun stuff. Like, I think it's probably one of my favourite uses of anti-gravity in Sonic. Like, sort of aesthetically and gameplay-wise. I feel like they do a decent amount of sort of fun stuff with it. Yeah, also the level can get pretty tricky as well. Also, actually, I only noticed this last week when I was doing my test playthrough, but the music, the bass line gets more like echoey when you're upside down, when you're in the upside down gravity. Which I didn't notice until last week. Like, I've been playing this game for years. Oh! Oh, I'm right back at the beginning. Cool! These headphone ports. Yeah. Like, the phone I want to get, because I want to get a new phone soonish, the next few months, but that phone doesn't have a headphone jack, so I'm going to have to get a USB-C adapter to actually use my headphones. Well, I have wireless headphones as well, but, you know, sometimes you want a wire, because there are things wires do better. That said, I think I might technically be able to use these headphones on a USB-C phone without a headphone jack adapter, because these have because this can go to normal USB as well as normal headphone jack. I could use the normal USB and then use my USB A to C adapter, but that would be a lot of cable. It's just to use headphones on my phone. I'd rather get a USB-C to headphone jack adapter. Anyway, this is the final special stage. It's pretty tricky, so concentration mode I go. Because it is tricky enough when you're playing on an actual DS. Ah! Well... No. I just missed that first one by 6 rings. I think there are... I think there are a decent amount of opportunities. At least. I don't think I have enough boost power here. No, not quite. I have to get another. I have to get another one. I know one of the things in like Act 1 or 2 is near a spring, so you can kind of cheese it a little. Hopefully we're going to get near another special stage entrance soon. Hopefully. Okay, here's the one. This one, so yeah, this one's near a spring, so you can have multiple attempts, because you can get boost power off the spring. I forgot to change the screen back to vertical. Oh well. It's because I'm distracted by the special stages. Hopefully we'll get it this time. But I didn't even get to the second section then, so... Ah! No! 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 I did even worse that time. The springs are like required, I think. Like, I think almost required, like required or almost required. I think if you want to get enough rings for the special stage, like, I think they're like required or almost required. If you need, to get enough rings. And I keep missing them because when I move my mouse over here, it sort of doesn't stop. It stops responding. No! 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 This is so hard, like this. No! I'm doing even worse this time. I've done worse every single time. I'm gonna try next time. I might try with the mouse, see if it's any easier. We may be here a while. Right, I'm gonna try with the mouse this time. This is one unfortunate sort of thing where, you know, the playing on an emulator just doesn't quite capture it unless you have certain hardware. No, this is harder. This is harder. This is harder. This is worse. This is worse. Oh my goodness. That was a lot worse. Ah, wasted attempt. No. I probably wouldn't emulate something like Bowser's Inside Story. Yeah. Also, the problem with Bowser's Inside Story is the sections where you have to turn the DS around. Like, how would you even set that up? Ah. If we fail it too much today, I'll get on with the level. Like, if I can't get it today, then what I'm gonna do is sort of keep plugging away at it during the week and get it before Sunday. Because I mean, you will see you know, see what the special stage is like. You know, you're not going to be missing out on the content, really, because it's just more of the same, really. Ah. Ah. Pain. This is actually really painful, like painfully difficult. It is like, this is giving me flashbacks, like memories to, you know, struggling with it when I was younger. Right. Leaning in real close now. That didn't help. Oh, it's because my hand was drifting lower and lower down the thing. No, couldn't hit the dash panel. No, oh, I forgot that wasn't the end. They do limit the amount of boost power you can get from a single string, I think, so I don't think I can stay here forever. Oh, this is so difficult. This is so much harder than I imagined it would be. Glad to see you. Ah. Starting to get real angry at this. I'll see if there's like a way of like streaming the like the thing to like a phone or something, like a phone or something, and like using that touchscreen so it's more one-to-one. Oh, this is so difficult with this input method because it doesn't really work. I think I've stopped getting boost power off that, yeah. Oh well. If we don't get it on stream, I'll just do it between streams. Because it's not worth like constantly plugging at it and not being able to, like, it's not worth sort of trying to get it today if I can't. Ugh. It is so much harder than I thought it would be. Oh, got caught up by. Right. No. Right. I can't remember where all the special stage rings are, like special stage things are in this act either. And we're probably not going to get as many chances on them as we did on that one from Act 1. What I'm thinking, depending on what the time is at the end of after, like, if I don't get it, and depending on what the time is after I've like done all the final boss stuff, if I've got some time to retry, I might retry, but no promises. Not that I've seen many things in this act to begin with. I know there are some, I just don't remember where they are. Also, when it is anti-gravity, the top of the screen counts as death. So, you know, be careful on that. Right, got one shot here, I think. Let's try and make it count. Ugh. If I have to, like if I have to do it off stream, then I will probably just like use emulator cheats to like slow it down or something. Just to, you know, give myself a hand. Just because doing it like this is it's a big handicap over playing it on real hardware. That's cheating. I know. Also, I hit the boost pad. Why did I get hurt there? That's not fair. Oh, that wasn't in a circle. That might have been my final attempt there. I'm guessing I can run it in slow motion anyway. I don't know if I can actually. Like I don't actually know if I can set the simulator to slow motion. It might have to be a case of just trying and trying again. Oh dear, I'm not looking forward to having to try that over and over and over again. Again, once we beat the final boss, depending on what the time is, I might give it another couple of goes. But, you know, depends on what the time is. We're gonna get away this time. Yeah, we got a cutscene for this boss. Seems Eggman has made a mistake. So yeah, Eggman Nega is from Blazer's World. Just reiterate the pronunciation. Yeah, he's from Blazer's World. Wow. That's pretty harsh. He's my opponent, go away. Except he's been fighting Sonic this whole game. Yeah, apart from the first boss, Sonic hasn't actually been fighting Eggman himself. But Blaze fights Eggman. Also, the way Sonic's dialogue written there, like, "Hey, are you going to fight me?" Like, that's makes me suspect, like, that this game has a bit of a literal Japanese to English translation. Not entirely, but a little bit. Anyways, so this is probably one of my favorite bosses in the game, the Sonic vs. Blaze boss fight. I think it's one of the best rival fights in the series as well. Because, like, it's fairly tough, but, like, not overly so, I wouldn't say. And, like, the rival, like, they use their moves along with the boss unique move, but it's not, like, too easy. Because Sonic rival fights have a history of being a bit too easy. Like stuff like the Sonic Adventure ones and in Sonic 3 and Knuckles, but yeah. I beat her up pretty quickly, good old Adventure, but I played this game a lot, so you know. Like, you do have to be pretty on your toes to sort of hit Blaze, like to hit sort of your opponent. But here we go, the infamous part of the boss fight. Button mashing. So this is a technique I sort of learned when I was on the DS, sort of sliding my fingers between the buttons instead of actually pressing them. Kind of hurts fingers, but I find it's effective. Oh. I thought I'd better lift the controller up in case it, like, seemed a bit suspect. In case, like, the mic picked it up with my hands. Oh. Oh, my hand's down here. Oh, that cough caught me off guard. I think that's the only boss I've got an S rank on. Can you stand up? But this is where Blaze starts to learn the true power of friendship and stuff. Obviously, we see more of this when we actually play as Blaze. We actually see her actually sort of develop and stuff, rather than only seeing her a couple of times. Things sure are looking depressing lately. Look, it's 2021. My world has begun to enter yours. I think our worlds can't coexist. Indeed. And then after Rush Adventure, they just bring Blaze back for no apparent reason. So, you know, with no sort of story, context or anything, they just have her there. So, you know. Leave it to me. I'll rely on you. She learned to rely on her friends or some such, you know, standard plot device for these sorts of characters. This is Final Zone, unknown. Are you sure you want to play this zone? Yes. Let's put the screens to vertical just to show this bit off for no reason. Because it looks correct if it's like that. But back to top screen. So yeah, final boss time. Well, final boss of the, you know, of the Sonic's campaign. Well, Blazes as well, but you know. Now this can be a fairly tough fight. Oh, the sound effects are very loud. I'm sure they're not that loud on original hardware. But yeah. So this boss has a sort of mechanic where it basically rewards you for not getting hit by its attacks. If you don't get hit by its attack, then it goes on to this segment where, you know, he tries to hit you with those shockwaves and then you run up his arm. I swear those sound effects are quieter on hardware. But yeah. Yeah, as the game instructs you to do, press down on the D-pad when he shakes his arm like that, or else he will shake you off. Also, note the amazing music. Like, I love this boss theme. It's one of my favourite boss themes in the series, probably. I love it a lot. Ah! But yeah, it's a fairly tough final boss, but it's the kind of boss you sort of learn the patterns of as you play more of it. This laser attack is really hard to dodge. It's so fast. But as you see, because I got hit, he's now doing another attack instead of going straight to the side. And then because I was able to hit him out of his hand slam, now I can go over to the side. Yeah. Also, one thing I haven't mentioned, the game does have an easy mode, which I think only affects the bosses and maybe some enemy placement in levels, but it's mainly for the bosses. In easy mode, bosses just, they have 6 HP instead of 8. Oh, this attack is also very hard to dodge. Yeah, bosses have 6 HP instead of 8, and in the case of this boss in particular, much easier to avoid patterns. Also, yeah, if you hear "get ready to be schooled" in the Sonic Rush boss fight, run, because that's an instant kill attack. And actually, with that hand slam attack, you do need to wait for his hands to stop moving once he's hit the ground. Once his hands hit the ground, if they're still animating, it still counts as an instant kill hitbox. So be very careful with that attack. Ah, this move, I swear, is impossible to avoid damaging sometimes. It's easier, yeah, when he does just the one thing, like the one laser thing. But oh jeez, this is moving faster than on actual hardware. Oh no, I'd never realised that was like slowdown. Ah. I never realised that was slowdown on original hardware, I just assumed that was the actual speed of it. Oh no. Ah! This is harder than original hardware. Oh no. The difference between emulation and the real thing, huh? Thankfully, yeah, I think if you get hit too much, he will go for an easier attack. I got my ring back. Or one of my rings. Yeah. I do not care what rank I get when I play this boss though, I play to survive. But once you go down to final hit, it's you've won already, basically. The game, the last hit is very easy. I'll crush you, Sonic. So he just slams the stage a few times. You can move around, there's no point. It's basically a cutscene. I mean, the timer's not even running. And then you just jump up. And you win. If you take too long, the stage does like fall apart and you die, I think. So just don't wait, just jump and up and hit him. But yeah, that is Sonic Rush, or Sonic Story of Sonic Rush done.
Said it.
Only a B rank, I don't care. I play to survive with that boss fight. And we get some nice 2D artwork for the ending scenes. Well, for Sonic and Blazes campaigns, anyway. Not for the final true ending. So notice Blaze and Cream in the background there. But I think this is one of the last games we see this sort of the adventure 2D art style in game as well. Like Rush Adventure uses it for its official artwork, but in game it's all like 3D models and CGI. And all the console games have gone to just CGI and 3D models from Heroes onwards. So, you know, this is one of the, I think this is one of the later games to actually have any 2D art in it at all. Let's switch to vertical. Yeah, that's one half of Sonic Rush done. Let's wait for the credits. I think I will give Special Stage 7 a couple more tries. If I can't get it today, I'll do it off stream. So, yeah, well, yeah, because it is unreasonably hard. But yeah, we will have to see the credits a couple more times after today. We'll have to see it when we beat Blazes' story and when we beat the final story. Can't believe it's over been a huge part of my life. We're only halfway through the game, you know. We've got Blazes' story to go through. And Blazes' story, it is slightly different. You go through the levels in a different order, so you know, that's something. Actually, stuff like this, this would be when having like a touchscreen like computer would come in handy. Like a touchscreen laptop, like that would come in handy for DS emulation. Also, I think we've gone past it, but when the voice cast in these, or when they credit the voice cast, they misspelled the name of Blazer's voice actress. Blazer's voice actress in this game is Bella Hudson, but they misspelled it as Berra Hudson, like Berra. It was a oh no, voices. Okay, Blaze Berra Hudson, which should be Bella. Classic Japanese LNR sort of translation thing. But yeah, this is one of the first games to really use the 4Kids voice actors. This and Shadow the Hedgehog were the first. I don't know which one would have been recorded first, this or Shadow. But yeah. Also we got the Sonic Advance style sprites. On the top screen. I suppose I could have had it with the top screen layout, but I don't know, I kind of wanted to preserve the vertical sort of thing. I'll bring it back to the top screen for this bit, because we get a little animation here. Sent by Sega. Thank you for playing. Well, it's been almost 2.5 hours. Wow. Collect all the Chaos Emeralds. Yeah, I know. I'm trying. Yeah, time attack, yeah, whatever. Sound test, yeah, whatever. I know. Did anybody say created by Sonic Team? Yes. Let me get back in the game. But yeah, we're gonna give the special stage another couple of goes. Oh, wrong button.
Please select Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, we're gonna give that another go, another couple of goes. See if I can get it tonight. Oh, I forgot it plays this music when you haven't beaten the game fully. But yeah, once you beat a level, when you go back in, you can just select an act. You don't have to do the whole zone all in one again, which is quite handy. So yeah, we'll give the special stage a couple more goes. Hopefully we can get it. I just need to get to where the special stage is. I can't remember where the first instance of the special stage like thing is in this act. I know we have more of a chance than Act 2. Oh, one there. Right. Right. Touch the touchscreen to continue. Let's try this again. Off to a great start already. No, no. Let's try the other special stage entrance. That I know where it is anyway. I only really know of 2 special stage entrances in this game. Or in this level, even. I like doing that as well. Just like constant spamming the horizontal air trick on that string. Oops. So sometimes when you press the boost button, it doesn't actually, it doesn't hold the boosts for some reason. Not quite sure why it does that. Right. We're gonna give it goes here. If we don't get it on all the sort of amount of boost I get here, then we're gonna end stream. And I'm gonna do it off stream. No! If I got that, that would have been a big help. No! Getting that dash panel also helps. What? That I came closer there, but not quite. Right. Right. Concentration time again. Missing that first spring is really hurting my chances. No! Sonic, why? Missing that first spring really hurts my chances because that's easy rings you can get off that first spring because it's not too difficult if you don't, as long as you don't mess up stupidly like I did. So yeah, missing that first spring is really hurting my chances, but also it's hard to go through those precision sort of ring things with this setup. If I have to, and when doing it in my own time, I might have to sort of use the technique where you pause a lot. Ah! No! Which is sort of I guess the equivalent of pause buffering. For this special stage. But no, Sonic, what are you doing? Ugh. No. Oh no, I had enough and I got hit. No. It's when you get to these areas that it becomes hard where like it sort of misses the thing, if you know what I mean. Where like the stylus starts to go bad in terms of here. Obviously easy on a real DS because you're just directly touching the screen. No. No, what? Why did you just suddenly move? I swear, he suddenly just sometimes just moves even though I've like not moved the mouse. Okay, I think... Ah! Okay. That was our last attempt. Yeah. That was our last attempt. Thanks for watching. That was fun, apart from the trauma of the special stages and me me still being slightly ill. I'm going to try and get that off stream between now and Sunday. Basically, my only time to really try is probably going to be Thursday, unless I try some more later tonight. So hopefully I'll have that all sorted by Sunday. So yeah, Sunday, gonna finish Sonic Rush, we'll do Blazer Story, do the final story, and then we can move on to Rush Adventure after Sunday. So yeah, hopefully that was enjoyable. Thanks for everyone. Thanks for being here. As I know Sam has been having to lurk for a while, but it's still appreciated that he's been here at all, as I'm always saying every time. But yeah, 2022. I've got things planned for this year, so yeah, stay tuned. I'm keeping it a secret though, well, one of my plans I'm keeping a secret. One thing I will announce actually, I don't know when, it'll depend on time. At some point, I might try my first ever Nuzlocke. Brilliant Diamond is making me want to try a Nuzlocke at some point, and I think a stream would be a really good way to try a first Nuzlocke. Because Brilliant Diamond is set in Sinnoh, the region I know the best, one of my favourite regions, but it's easier than the original Diamond Pearl because of XP share, because of modern quality of life changes, stuff like that. So I think it'll be a bit of an easier Nuzlocke to do than original Gen 4. Plus them views. I'm kidding. But yeah, I think the stream would be a fun way to do Nuzlocke, because then I could also get you guys to name the Pokemon, because I'm bad at naming Pokemon. Thanks next time. Hey Vicious. Yeah, next time will be Sunday at roughly 7 p.m. GMT. But even if you just arrived, welcome. If you have just arrived, you've missed me like almost raging at special stages, because playing a game meant for a DS screen with a graphics tablet is not very easy. But yeah, in the future, at some point, I can't say when, because I have other plans for this year as well. I would like to try Nuzlocke. But yeah, fun times. Yeah, I mean, I love Sonic Rush. We got through Sonic's story, apart from getting the last Chaos Emerald. But yeah, that last special stage is so hard when using a control method that is not designed for. But yeah. Anyways, I should probably stop rambling. I have work tomorrow, so don't want to be up too late. But yeah, that was fun. Apart from pain. Yeah, and I hope you've been doing alright as well, Fishers. Hope you've been keeping well. Anyways, I think that's all I have to say. Yeah. So yeah, Sunday, 7 p.m. GMT, like UK time. Don't ask me to convert times because I'm bad at converting time zones. Yeah, for the rest of Sonic Rush, for Blazer's story and the final story. Luckily for Blazer's story, we won't need to use the touchscreen, so that'll be a much smoother ride. It'll be Rush Adventure where we have to use the touchscreen, so I'll have to do some experimenting, see if I can fine tune the settings to make it any easier. Anyways, with that I will actually stop rambling. Thanks everyone for watching, everyone being here no matter how long they've been here, and have a good rest of your day.